welcome to the channel. Candy Banana Balls is the channel name, and what it's about is I have been doing ball python breeding and keeping research for about 6 or 8 months. And what I want to do with this channel, something you don't see, or I didn't find when I was looking, is you'll see big breeders teaching, basic care and, teaching about genes, that type of thing. But what you don't see is just a regular guy, with limited funds, just getting started in the breeding hobby and seeing where it goes. Whether it's, 5 to 10 snakes, whether, in a year or two you have 50 snakes. You see some of the bigger guys talk about how they got started, but you don't see any of the footage, any of the trial and error, so to speak. So what I want to do with this channel is hopefully teach what I've learned through my research and share that, and also almost be partners with you as we together move through this buying, breeding, keeping, that type of thing. So the Candy Banana Balls are the two genes that I'd like to start with, is banana gene and also the candy gene. My plan is to start with a banana gene first, get some successful keeping and breeding with that, and then once that's established, I can dive into the candy gene. They're a light gene. The reason I like them, a lot of people are intimidated or have a fear of snakes. I've gone back and forth. Years and years ago, I owned 2 normal ball pythons, and the reason I bought them was I have a little bit of a fear of snakes, and I wanted to get over that. A friend of mine had some snakes, and he kind of inspired me to get into it. So years and years ago, I had some. That was way before morphs that I knew of existed. And I, after doing the research, there was no internet back then, learned how horrible of a keeper that I really was. I didn't know anything other than what the pet store owner told me, and seeing the information that's out there now, I didn't do a very good job. But anyway, the focus that I want to do on those 2 genes, I would like to get a few female breeder size or close to it, and a male or 2 that are same breeder size or close to it, so we can kind of dive right in and get started with the projects instead of the slow growing up and getting to that point. And we'll probably do that along the way, with some other snakes, but we want to be able to kind of get into it right away, so to speak. So with that said, with the research I've done, I believe that we want to also breed ASF rats to feed our own collection, and if there is any overflow of those rats, either freeze for later date or sell to fund the ball python breeding that we want to do. So it's going to be just a garage type project. I have an unfinished garage, nothing special. It's a used garage, so there's tools and mess and boxes and that type of thing, but that's where we're going to do this at. So apologize ahead of time that it's not going to be a fancy breeding facility that is all set up for ball python breeding. It's going to be a garage that it slowly turns into that. Maybe in time that's all that it'll be, but for right now it's both. And we're going to do the ball pythons and the ASFs, and it should be some adventure there, some fun for everyone. We'll learn together, trial and error, hopefully have some success. We'll share the fails as well and try to learn from those. I've done quite a bit of research, but what I've learned in this hobby is you're learning every day. I don't think there's anybody, there could be a breeder that's been breeding for 30 years or one that's been breeding for 5, and I don't think either one would tell you that they feel that they know it all. These are animals, they all have, call it a personality, they all have different ways that they react. So nothing's the same across the board. There is a basic care guide, so to speak, you know, a way of caring for those animals to make them the best you can as far as comfortable. But each animal has its own individual type personality that you have to learn, and hopefully it teaches you how to care for it the best you can. So the channel is going to be about that, and I want you guys to like and subscribe and come along on this journey with me. You know, if you're a more experienced breeder, feel free to comment and share, and you know, we'll take your advice and apply it. The sources that I've used, I feel, are good sources. I feel, you know, there's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of bad information out there. Some of it isn't by the book, so to speak. I think you can take a lot of the basic information and apply it, and maybe slight variances to make it work for you. I don't think there's a rule book necessarily that works perfectly for every situation, but there's a lot of good guys out there teaching good information that if you follow step by step what they're telling you, you will have a level of success. Now, where you take it from there is up to you. You know, if you work from what they've taught you and improve on it and make it better, then that's where your success comes in. So I think we'll have a lot of fun. I'm gonna go step by step, you know, buy this snake, buy that snake, pair these up, and hopefully we'll see eggs, and we'll see babies, and we'll see ovulation, and hopefully it'll be fun. So join me, and let's go on this adventure together.